George Bush reportedly proclaimed that God told me to strike at al-Qaeda, and I struck them. And then he instructed me to strike at Saddam, which I did. And then you wrote, and now I am determined to solve the problem of the Middle East, he said. Also, and in your words, also at the command of the Lord of hosts, the war god, whom we are instructed by the Holy Book to worship above all other gods. And as I mentioned, the elite press dutifully refers to his messianic mission to solve the problem of the Middle East, in fact, the world, following, quote, our responsibility to history to rid the world of evil. The early English colonists in North America were following the word of the Lord as they slaughtered the Amalekites, in the new Israel that they were liberating from the native blight. Those who followed them, also Bible-waving, God-fearing Christians, did their religious duty by conquering and possessing the Promised Land, ridding it of millions of Canaanites, and proceeding to war against the Papists in Florida, Mexico, and California. Now,
it's sustainable again, I'm afraid.
Yes, but the question I'm going to ask you may not be the one you think. So, you once told me in an email when I talked about my concerns about religion, that you rightly, then this is a profoundly important thing. You don't care what people believe; it's what they do that counts. But beliefs influence actions. And it seems to me, and I'd like to hear your comment, that if you really talk about, if we go back to your argument for the responsibility of intellectuals, which is to expose lies, is it not, therefore, our responsibility to expose religious lies?
Sure. If, say, a third of the American population believes that the world was created a couple of thousand years ago, exactly as it is today, yes, it is our responsibility to expose that lie and to tell the truth. On the other hand, if, say I'm thinking of a particular person, but could give many examples, if a Peruvian peasant who immigrated to the United States 30 years ago and has managed to create a decent life for herself under pretty awful conditions, is an evangelical Christian who has a prayer group every evening that goes to visit the sick and pray with them, I'm not going to read her a lesson in epistemology.
Okay. No. I couldn't agree with you more. It's our duty to expose lies when they influence behavior, and especially state behavior in a bad way. And I think that, although you didn't intend it, all those quotes, of course, and many wars are justified by religious arguments, although one could argue if there wasn't God, one would justify them.
But we should also remember that there's a secular religion, which is even more devastating, and that's things like the concept of American exceptionalism. That's a secular religion.